Hello everyone, welcome. I'm back in my studio. Otis is excited, I'm back. I'm excited, I'm back. I had a lovely time in England, and yes, there's just so much going on. I want to remind you all, please subscribe to my Facebook. Please subscribe to Facebook because I am putting up videos, and I actually really love doing this, putting up videos with Otis now on my PDINA Facebook page. So please head over there to see little clips that I'm putting up of Otis, because Otis is really getting into this. When it's time to go film our videos, like he goes trucking through the house. He goes exactly where to go. Okay, go here. Okay, we're going there. Okay, he's like, let's do this. He has the routine down. He has it down. Yes, you do, Otis. So I'm really loving to get these videos up to you all, and also my Patreon and YouTube members. Videos are coming up this week of the next part of my trip. I'm documenting all of my time when I went abroad, from Boston to the UK to Germany to back here, and some drama, some things happened. It was a lot of fun overall. But yeah, if you want to watch that whole journey of my travels, please sign up to be a part of my members channel and to see something different. Okay, because we all know right here we have these two and their ever-ending just craziness. And today what I'm going to be talking to you about is how bad it's really gotten for Harry and Meghan, and how this is not going to end well for them. And I think maybe Meghan is starting to see that. But the elections that are coming up are going to dictate a lot about what happens to Harry and Meghan. I'm going to talk about that, and also just, the Americans, they want them gone. The Americans want them gone, and I think Harry and Meghan know their days are numbered. And that's what we're talking about today, folks, so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so this article that came out by this writer, David Christopher Kaufman, is what I'm addressing, because when I read this article, I thought this is a perfect article to talk about, because it really encompasses the big picture of what has happened with Harry and Meghan. So I'm going to just point out some different parts of this article. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but the article is titled, "We Americans are fed up with Meghan Markle. It's time for Brits to take her back." Not only do we think they should take back the Brit, they need to take back our American. Take her back, folks. We don't want her. Okay, so this is what it says. So say what you want about Meghan Markle. She's a narcissist, we know. She is self-aggrandizing. She's out of touch, basically. She can't read the room. The girl can't read a room for anything. This is why she is in the predicament she is in now, because in my opinion, she's still in that mindset of trying to get a job, trying to get an acting job, not realizing she was in the greatest role of her life, but she still thinks that she needs to be trying to get a role. And that's why she's in this predicament that she's in now. She thinks seriously that she is, okay, I gotta go do this now. I got my handbag, let's go do this now. Not realizing, man, you gave up a great opportunity. And this is the problem with someone, I think, that is so driven, like Meghan. She was so driven by her quest of acting and being an A-lister in the Hollywood and the lights, that she completely missed the boat on real life opportunities, the ones that are outside of Hollywood, the ones that don't exist within that world of superficialities. She missed it. And this is why she's still on this quest that we're finding her in now, in this drama we call the imitation of royal life, folks. Come on now. I've talked about it before. This is exactly what it is. This is a soap opera. This is just what we're seeing with this girl. So the article goes on to say that despite the Duchess's best efforts, her carefully curated home goods line, the wannabe state visit to Nigeria, and this perfectly plotted date nights, all the things that she's done within the media with, paparazzi showing up, taking her pictures with Harry, like all the things that she's worked so carefully on and crafting and trying to really just get it just right. Her planning, her ambition, her tenaciousness, her drive for success. All of these things. Barely 1/3 of Americans have a favorable opinion of this woman. She is so far down now, even the royals that we do know, William and Catherine, and even her own husband. Like, as an American, she's below the British people. I mean, it's got to be really bad when you are ranking well below the foreigners. That's how bad it is. So we know, armed with her new podcast, her refreshed communications team, Meghan is clearly continuing her relentless quest for relevance. That's what she's continuing to do. Okay? Despite all these things that have happened. But as for the real Windsors, the ones over in the United Kingdom, Meghan has revealed herself as little more than the most infamous symbol of America's high tolerance for low expectations. Yeah, we don't expect much from you. Show us what you got, because we have very low expectations of you, Meghan. It's gotten to that point. I mean, you have someone even like Donald Trump who talked about how Harry and Meghan broke the Queen's heart, and we can all see it. Even when you have someone so high profile as someone like Trump, just people in general have seen what you have done. You have essentially broken the hearts of this beloved Queen. Even my Aunt Pamela loved the Queen, and we know what she thinks about the royals. The Queen was beloved, and this is how you know, this is how my mind thinks, okay? This is how I know that Meghan, all the things she said about the royals, all the things that she tried to say that were done to her, this is the one way I see it. How we know that's a lie. That's a lie. You know how? Because the Queen is not ghetto. The Queen ain't ghetto. The Queen wasn't ghetto. Excuse me, the late Queen. She was not going to be doing these things that were off the charts, just ridiculous, that Meghan is talking about. And I've said it before, you would never have gotten your foot in the House of Windsor if the royals were racist. Trust me. You would not have made it that far to even have a ring on your finger, girlfriend. Okay? The Queen, the family, the royals, they are very cordial people. They don't want to ruffle feathers. They're not high drama. They're not arguing with these loud voices of, like, calling you out, making you look like a fool on the world stage. They're going to allow you to make yourself look like a fool by saying nothing. Because you can do crazy, foolish all by yourself is how they see it. Because that's what they've done to Harry and Meghan. They've said absolutely nothing. And what has happened to Harry and Meghan, they have made themselves look like complete idiots on the world stage. So the royals are just high class. They're not doing these things. And then for all the drama that was around Princess Diana, her drama really was around the love of her husband and her marriage to this man, the king now. That's what Diana's gripe was. Diana's gripe was more about her loveless marriage. Not the same thing with Meghan. Meghan trying to go throw the whole royal family under a bus, acting ghetto and stupid and thinking that the royals are just like the average typical American family. When she is wrong, she calculated completely wrong, because that was not her reality. This is why she was able to put out these baseless claims without any proof, because she thought she was living in a middle-class American life. These people got the crown jewels, okay? I couldn't even take pictures when I went to go visit the castle and saw the jewels of the Queen. They wouldn't even let me take pictures. Like, you are not going to have the same kind of arguments or the same kind of issues with a family that has the grandmaster or the grandmother on the money. And you're not going to have the same circumstances. And Meghan, she miscalculated the family that she was actually in. She thought she could make it like a Diana situation, but Diana was more royal than the actual royals. And her issue was about something completely different. So the miscalculation of Meghan is it is just mind-blowing to me. Just mind-blowing, because you really, really screwed up. Okay, so it didn't have to be this way. The article goes on to say that long before marrying her prince, Meghan clearly understood the power of public image and personal achievement. So she really managed to do something, I believe, okay, kind of remarkable what you've done coming from where you have been. You know, you calculated something, you had the drive to do it, and you succeeded to an extent by snagging the Klug prince. You did something extraordinary there. And then it was like at that point, let's wait and see what you're going to do now. Okay, what you going to do now? Kind of a thing. And that's where we all were when we had our suspicions. We're like, okay, you married the guy. Now what are you going to do? And that's where it went all downhill. Intelligently deployed her mixed race heritage into a compelling competitive edge narrative, just as America was embracing the power of identity politics nearly a decade ago. So she managed to essentially capitalize on this race that she had, that she most of her life didn't want nothing to do with. But she was like, okay, I can capitalize on this. Okay, let me try to see how I can use my black mama. How I can use my blackness. She fought against it her whole life, and I believe still fighting against it with, trying to maintain herself looking like a white woman when she clearly could use a little bit more ethnic choices. But, that's her choice. But it's a choice that she seems to not want to lean towards, to really embrace it. But she'll embrace it just enough to make controversy out of it and to use it to her advantage. So armed with style and that insatiable backstory, Meghan was well on her way to securing official somebody status. She was officially on her way there with all these things that have happened. Even if she was most famous in the sleepy confines of Toronto, where her show Suits was filmed, she was starting to make way. So well-educated and supremely well-spoken, Markle likes to talk up those mid-level accomplishments and achievements, but ultimately her greatest accomplishment will forever be her becoming a Windsor. And she couldn't recognize that as an accomplishment. She used it as an opportunity to keep doing what she was already doing. You weren't like, I reached the mountaintop. I reached the pinnacle of the success. Now I am here. Hear me roar. Let me do what I got to do. Hey, celebrate. She wasn't happy. She wasn't there yet. It was a sidestep to where she was really trying to go. And that's where she took the wrong road. As far as I'm concerned, you took the wrong road. You deviated off of the road you were on where you were heading towards success. And now you have taken the road that's going to have you end up winding down in the pit, the gutter of being an absolute nobody with something to regret the rest of your life. That's where she is heading, if she's not already there. So despite her aggressive efforts to rewrite the legacy of Queen Charlotte, whose supposed mixed heritage or ancestry has been lavishly conjured in the Bridgerton series, and we know Queen Charlotte and her legacy and who she is all throughout America. I mean, just look at the founding of our country and the little things that came from Queen Charlotte. You'll see that she's embedded into our country in a lot of different ways. But there has never been a multiracial royal, and since then. And the last divorcee to actually marry a senior family member wound up in exile. So Meghan, however, achieved what many had assumed was impossible. Her diversifying 1,000-year-old institution for whom change typically arrives via assassination or warfare. Now, but 6 years on, both she and her prime prince have squandered what could have been a meaningful opportunity. They just blew it away, just like poof, they blew it away. Really, they did. And if you don't believe that, you're an idiot. You're not a critical thinker. You're a fool if you don't believe she squandered it away. It appears as if Harry and Meghan squandering shows no sign of stopping. None. So the problem with Meghan is that she still believes in the power of her achievements long after she stopped achieving, because we know she continues to talk about the things she did when she was 11 years old, when she was in middle school, talking about the dishwashing soap. Like, that's one of her accomplishments. Like, okay, we need to talk about something else now. Okay, really, for real, you're still talking about that? You got to start trying to make some other changes. But she's not. So she and Harry's $100 million Netflix deal has delivered little more than a pair of self-serving biopics. Their equally ambitious Spotify tie-up resulted in loss of millions of dollars and the couple being branded as grifters by one of Spotify's own executives. As for the Nigeria trip, Harry and Meghan were apparently flown to Africa on airplanes owned by an alleged money laundering fugitive. Okay, so unsurprisingly, considering wherever they go, they tend to live as big as possible while paying as little as possible. So if only they had remained in Britain, if only they stayed their butts in Great Britain. But like I said before, Meghan was looking at this as a pit stop to try to continue her acting A-lister like goals. She never looked at this as an actual win. This is why they didn't stay in Britain. This is why we know she conjured up some excuse like, Harry, let's take what we have into America. Where, you're royalty, I'm royalty now. We can just sell this royalty idea to the Americans and they're going to love us. They're going to give us all kind of deals and I can continue my plight to being this A-lister. Oops, did I say that? I didn't mean to say that. But Harry, look, we can still go do this thing, honey. Let's do this. Let's use your celebrity of royalty in America and let's build an empire. That's what she told the man, and he fell for it. Come on, folks. We're not trying to say things that are not truthful. This is after all the years of everything that we have seen happen. This is what she did. Don't tell me she didn't, because we know she did. She talked to that man. She looked him in the eyeballs real cute and seriously and just like seduced the man. We can use this power. We can use this power of royalty in America. Let's use it. And Harry's eyes got big like, okay, now I can be not the spare anymore. I can be the king of America. I can be the one now who is the Superman. I don't have to be in the shadow of my brother anymore. And I can almost guarantee you that's how it happened one night in Great Britain, in the bed, just looking Google-eyed at each other, just talking about what they could do as royalty in America. And Harry and his jealousy for his brother, he fell for it because he didn't want to live in the shadow of his brother. This is why he was motivated to leave England. Not only would the pair be paid for living in a grand home, preparing traditional spreads, showing up at polo matches, and embarking on world tours, Markle would have been doing work that actually matters. The spotlight would have been unyielding, the scrutiny possibly unforgiving, but it's no different than what they're trying to do that would have been done naturally for them in Great Britain. Now they're plotting out these opportunities to have. Had they remained in Britain, it would have just been a natural thing. It would not have been on their terms, but they would have still had those photo ops. Now they're seeking them out, trying to make it mean something. So as for Harry and Meghan, their idling in Montecito exile is in an overpriced villa paid for by daddy while they wait for the next American Riviera orchard to drop. Now, some people are saying that they have actually sold their place in Montecito. I have read that as well, but we don't really know for sure. But I think possibly if it's not been sold, it could be very soon. They can't afford that place, folks. They cannot afford it. And I know Harry's going to get a big inheritance, but in the big scheme of things and the money that they actually need, that £7 million or dollars that Harry's going to be getting on his 40th birthday is not really that much money in the eyes of the lifestyle that they're trying to live. Perhaps it's time to return to Britain, where they could truly be useful, and where the opportunities afforded by Harry's birth and ultimately far more plentiful. That is this article, and I thought it was so well written in how it brought together the life of Harry and Meghan and how they squandered away such opportunity. And it's like the saga of Harry and Meghan. Every single day is a saga when they wake up. When the sun rises over on the West Coast in Montecito, they're looking at a life of drama, pure drama, and how they are going to make it. And they have managed to put themselves in a predicament that I believe will either, by the elections this coming November, either dwindle away, where there's a lot that's going to happen for them in the eyes of whoever our president is in the States, or Harry's going to have to march his butt back over into Great Britain, because his butt's more likely going to be kicked out the country. And then the saga ends and Meghan can finally divorce Harry and continue her drama as trying to make it as an actress. I don't know what's going to happen, but I can assure you, whatever happens, she blew a great opportunity. And now not even the Americans want her back. They have completely ruined, I believe, what could have been a great life for them. Time will tell, and we will see. All right. I hope you enjoyed this one. I will see you all in the next video. Right, Mr. Otis? Yes. Bye.